So we'll come to the top of our mats, into Samasthitihi, with the big toes touching and the heels slightly apart. I want to spread the base of the feet wide, press down through the four corners of each foot. Engage the legs, strong legs, lifting the kneecaps, dropping the tailbone and the pubic bone down towards each other. And then feeling the spine rising up and out as you roll the shoulders back and down and lift the heart. And then drawing the chin back and down to reach up through the crown of the head. So you can feel this continuous line from between the 2 feet through the pelvis, the center of the pelvis, just behind the navel, through the rib cage, through the center of the heart, through the throat, behind the eyebrow center, and then out through the crown of the head. So imagine that line, grounding you down, moving downwards, and lifting you up, reaching upwards. And we'll bring the palms to heart center. And we'll begin with the opening mantra. You can join me or just listen. Take a deep breath in. Vande Gurunam Charanaravinде Sandarshita Swatma Sukhavabode Nishreyase Jangali Kayamane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankhachakrasidharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Exhale the hands back down to your side. We'll open the eyes and start with Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch, gaze up. Exhale, fold. Hands to the mat, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, half lift. Lift the heart and reach forward. Exhale, step back into a high plank. Lower the knees to modify and slowly bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Point the toes, press through the tops of the feet and lift the heart. Exhale into downward facing dog. You can roll through the toes or through tabletop and tuck the toes from there. In downward facing dog, we'll settle here for about 5 breaths. Turning inwards and coming back into that breath. Drawing just above the pubic bone, in and up, and breathing down into the pelvis. So we're allowing the diaphragm to spread out and expand and not constricting the movements of the diaphragm. Go ahead, matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales. Let's take one more breath here. Fully exhaling. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Keep drawing the lower belly in. Inhale, come to stand. Press through the feet. Reach the arms over your head. Palms touch. Exhale, Samasthitihi, floating the arms back down to your side. Again, inhale, deep breath in. Press through the heels. Drop the tailbone, drop the pubic bone. Exhale, fold forward with a long spine. And then relax the back and the neck. Inhale, half lift. Press through the feet to lift the heart. Exhale, step or jump back into a plank and lower through Chaturanga. Remember, you can lower the knees to modify. Inhale, upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back and down. Exhale into downward facing dog. Into the breath, settling into the breath. If the hamstrings are on the tighter side, you can bend the knees as much as you need to and then reach the hips up and back. So you feel that length and that lifting through the sit bones. Smooth, steady breath, smoothing out the edges of the breath. Let's take one more here. The bottom of the exhale, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward, strong legs. Inhale, press through the feet to come all the way up, arms over your head. Wrap the shoulder blades towards the front. Exhale, Samasthiti. Again, inhale, deep breath in, arms over your head. Exhale, fold forward, fully exhaling. Inhale, half lift. Press through the feet to reach the heart. Exhale, step or jump back. Draw the lower belly in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the heart, press the shoulders. Exhale, downward facing dog. And settle. Settle into the body, into the breath. So we're toning the vocal cords for our Ujjayi breath, but relax the throat. Relax the neck, gazing up towards the thighs or towards the navel. One more here. Fully exhale. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come to stand. Press through the feet, drop the tailbone, drop the pubic bone. Exhale, keep reaching up through the crown of the head. Let's take one more. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Keep the breath moving. Bend the elbows, finish the exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe lifting the thighs, reach the toes back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feel the heat starting to build from the inside. What does that feel like? These first movements connected to the breath. What sensations do you feel at the core of the body? One more breath. At the bottom of the exhale, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward. Step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come to stand. Press down to reach up. Exhale, float the arms back down. Surya Namaskara B. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, now lift the heart and reach the arms up for chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Straighten the legs as much as it's comfortable. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana, bend the elbows, keep the heart open. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, back heel down. Inhale, come up into Virabhajasana. Good. Arms over your head, palms press. Exhale, come back down. Hands to the mat, step back into a high plank and bend the elbows. Remember, you can lower the knees if you need to. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, back heel down. Inhale, come up. Press through the feet as you reach the arms up. Exhale, come back down, step back into a high plank, draw the lower belly in, and bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Or if you need to rest, you can take child's pose. Deep, steady breaths. Without straining the breath, without pushing or pulling the breath. Relaxing into a steady breath. What does that mean for you? What does that feel like for you to relax into a steady breath? One more. Fully exhale. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend the knees. Lift the chest, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. All right, one more. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Keep the shoulders away from the ears as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, right foot forward. Inhale, come up, square the shoulders forward. Exhale, come back down, step back, bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, left foot forward. Inhale, come up. Strong legs, press through the feet. Exhale, come back down, step back, bend the elbows. Inhale, lift the heart, upward facing dog. Exhale, reach the hips back. Downward facing dog, or if you need to, come onto your knees for child's pose. Keep the breath moving. Following the pathway of the breath, observing the breath. Good. Just a couple more breaths here. On your next exhale, come into downward facing dog if you're in child's pose, and then bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward, draw the lower belly in. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the chest. Exhale, Samasthiti. Good. All right, Pranayama, bring the feet hip-width distance apart. Inhale, fold forward, catch the big toes with your peace fingers. Bend the knees if you need to. Now, so wrap your pinky, your pointer and your middle finger around the big toe. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Bend the knees. Exhale, fold. Yeah, if you can't fully wrap the toe, bend the knees so that you can. Good, when you fold forward, allow the crown of the head to reach towards the mat. Keeping the legs strong, rooting through the feet, lifting the kneecaps, lifting the sit bones, and then allowing the spine to release, the lower back to relax, the neck to relax. One more breath here. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale into Padahastasana. You're going to slide your hands underneath the feet, so you're stepping on the hands. Again, bend the knees as much as you need to. Inhale, find length. And then exhale, fold forward into all that space you just created. Lifting the kneecaps. And gently moving the crown of the head towards the mat. Drawing the lower belly in so you feel hollowing through the belly. Not a pushing out of the abdominal muscles, but a drawing in. One more breath. On your next inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way back up to standing into Samasthiti. Top of the mat, feet together. Uttita Trikonasana. Inhale, you're going to step the right foot back and pivot the right toes towards the back of the mat. Good. And reach the arms out to the side. Exhale, bring the right hand down to the right shin. Or you can catch the right big toe. Or you can bring the hand to a block. You're going to press through the feet, so find that stabilization through the legs. Good. And you're gazing up through the left hand or out to the side. Yeah, this looks great. Make sure you're not dumping too much weight into this hand, but you're lifting up from here. One more breath. So good. On your next inhale, come out of it. Pivot the feet. Exhale, other side. So reach through that left hand and bring the left hand down. And then reach up through that right hand as you keep pressing down through the feet. Strong legs. And if you feel like you're dumping a lot of weight into the knee joints, micro bend the knees. So now we're doing the other side. So you pivot the feet. Yeah. Good. Keep the legs grounding down, the lower belly drawing in. Good. One more breath. Smooth the breath. On your next inhale, press down to come up. We're going to pivot around, face the back of the mat, and square the hips and the shoulders. Exhale, left hand comes down to the floor or onto a block, which I'll show you. On the inside of the right foot or the outside of the right foot for a deeper twist, and then reach the right arm up so that you feel like the right hand and the left hand are moving away from each other. Strong legs, press evenly down through both feet. So this one is with the legs are straight. Then we use a block. If you can't straighten the legs, then you straighten the legs and you use the block. Good. So then put the left hand.
Here, right?
Yeah, but the left hand, your other left. Yeah, good. And then reach this arm up. Good. One more breath there. On your next inhale, come out of it, pivot around, face the front of the mat. So come out of it, pivot around, face the front of the mat. Exhale, right hand comes down onto a block or onto the floor, inside of the foot or the outside of the foot. So you're pivot around, face the front of your mat. Good. And then reach the left arm up. Good. And then feel like that right hand and that left hand are moving away from each other. Good. And then strongly press down through both feet. Deep, steady breaths. One more. Exhale, gaze down. Inhale, coming out of it, reach the arms to the side. Exhale into Samasthiti. Good. All right, that's harder than it seems, that posture. Kind of challenges our proprioception of like where our body is in space. It's like hard to get a sense of that, but slowly you develop it. Parsvottanasana. Inhale, step the right foot back. This time it's a little bit of a wider stance. Pivot the right toes towards the back of the mat. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Good. And let's just stay here for a moment. Make sure that right knee is over the right ankle, so it's not coming forward, it's moving back. And if it's too deep to get that right knee into 90 degrees, that right thigh can be at a diagonal, totally fine. Exhale, bring the arms out to the side, reach that right hand, and then either bring the right hand to the floor on the outside of the foot, or the forearm to the thigh, and reach that left arm over your head. Good, keep moving that right knee back and pressing the right heel down and forward and that left foot down and back. So you feel like the thighs are lifting away from the floor. Deep breaths, drawing in just above the pubic bone and breathing deeply down into the pelvis. One more breath here. Good. Inhale, coming out of it. Straighten the right leg, pivot the toes. So now your left toes are pointing towards the front. Exhale, bend into the left knee. Hold it here and just check in. Make sure that left knee is moving back. You can even grab your left thigh and roll it back and down. And then exhale, move into the posture. Left hand to the floor or left forearm to the thigh. Good, and really feel that rooting down, and then the counteraction of that rooting down, the lifting up. Feel into that. Keep bending into the left knee. Keep that left knee over the right ankle so the left knee is moving back. One more breath here. Inhale, coming out of it. Exhale, pivot around, face the back of the mat. And if you need to, bring the back knee down to the floor. So now we're going to twist. Inhale, bring the left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. Good. So we're twisting, yeah. Palms in prayer. And then lift the heart up to deepen into the twist. If you want to take a deeper version of this, left hand comes down to the floor. Good. And then if you want to challenge the balance, find your drishti, tuck the back toes, and lift the back knee. Deep, steady breaths. Good, you could always just stay with the knee down, pressing that left elbow down into the thigh, and bringing the palms towards the center of the heart. One more breath here. Exhale, gaze down for balance. Inhale, come out of it. Pivot around, face the front of the mat. And then to the left side, you can come down to the knee, or you can go into it with the knee lifted. Exhale, twist to the left. So the elbow comes to the thigh, right elbow comes to the thigh, or the right hand comes to the floor. Good. Good, yeah. And then see, find your stability through that front foot, through just a steady gazing point that can be up towards the ceiling or to the side. Maybe picking up the back knee. And the breath is going to help you stabilize. Smooth out the breath. Focus on the breath. Good. One more. Exhale, gaze down for balance. Inhale, opening to the side. Exhale into Samasthiti. Top of the mat, feet together. Inhale, step the right foot back, hands to your hips. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Crown of the head coming towards the mat. Maybe walking the hands back. Good. If the hamstrings are really open, then you can walk the hands back. If not, just think about reaching the crown of the head towards the mat. If it's really far away, you can widen the stance. Maybe bend the knees a little bit. Good. One more deep, steady breath. Good. Inhale, straighten the arms, lift the heart. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up to the top. Exhaling there. Good. We're going to do 3 more of these. And all of them, make sure you're really rooted through the feet. Pressing down through the 4 corners of each foot, lifting the kneecaps. Inhale, reach the arms out to the side. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, take a deep breath in, lift the heart up. Exhale, fold forward and keep the hands on the hips. Good. And just keep the legs strong. If you need to bend the knees a little bit, you can, especially if you feel a lot of pulling on the hamstrings. Shoulders move away from the ears, lift the elbows so the heart stays nice and open. Drawing the lower belly in, one more breath. Inhale, come all the way up to the top. Exhaling there. C, inhale, reach the arms to the side. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, reach the hands towards the floor, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. Now we're getting into the shoulders, moving the hands away from the hips. Good. Again, bend the knees if you need to. Relax the neck. Relax the shoulders. Keep the breath moving. Keep the breath steady, matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales. One more breath. Inhale, all the way up to the top. Exhale, release the hand. Last one here. Inhale, hands to your hips. Exhale, fold forward, catch the big toes. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Crown of the head towards the mat. Elbows up towards the ceiling. Good. Again, bend the knees if you need to. If your legs are burning, mine are burning a little bit, just notice the sensations. Lift the kneecaps. Deep breaths, one more. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up to the top. Exhale into Samasthiti. Good. All right, Parsvottanasana. We're going to bring the hands into reverse prayer behind the back. If that's too much for the shoulders today, you can bring the fists together, or you can just grab onto opposite forearms. Inhale, step the right foot back, face the back of the mat, and square the hips and the shoulders towards the back of the mat. Good. Exhale, fold over the right leg. Square the shoulders over the right leg. Pyramid pose. And you're pressing evenly down through both feet. Maybe you start to notice that right sit bone moving back and towards the midline as you press evenly through both feet. And if you need to, micro-bend the knees. Lift the elbows, open the heart, one more breath. Inhale, come all the way up, pivot around, face the front. Exhale, fold over the left leg. And as you fold into it, you're already pressing evenly through both feet. Just notice if you have more weight in one foot or the other foot. See if you can find the balance, starting you from your foundation. And one more breath. Inhale, come all the way up to the top, release the hands. Exhale into Samasthiti. But top of the mat, feet together. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold. Fully exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump both feet forward. Bend the knees. And lift the chest. Arms over your head, palms touching, gazing up. Or palms apart, gazing forward. Good, and sink into this. Drop the tailbone and pubic bone. And then lift the rib cage. Deep breaths. Sink a little bit deeper. And on your next exhale, keep the knees bent, chest to your thighs, hands to the floor, shoulder width apart, and then shift forward into the hands as you press through the hands, press through the shoulders, so the shoulder blades are moving away from each other. Good, hold you here for 3, shift forward, palms are flat, 2, good, lower the hips, knees to your chest, one more breath, and then exhale, step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, Virabhadrasana. A, so bring the right foot forward and lower the back heel. Right foot forward, lift the chest, arms over your head. Again, palms together, gazing up, or palms apart, gazing forward. And settle here, bend into the right knee, let the hips sink down, and then feel the counteraction of the rib cage and the arms reaching up. Good, square the shoulders forward, one more breath. Inhale, straighten the right leg, pivot around, face the back, left side. Pressing through the feet, strong legs. Hips are sinking, rib cage lifting. One more breath. Inhale, open the arms and the hips, Virabhadrasana B, warrior 2. Good. And then you're gazing over the left fingers. Keep the hands in line with the shoulders. Keep that knee moving back so it's not coming forward. Good. Strong legs, press through the feet. One more breath. Inhale, straighten the left leg, pivot around to the right side. Virabhadrasana B, other side. Switch sides. Yeah. Good. And make the gaze soft. Soft over the right fingers. Relax the shoulders and reach the elbows away from each other. One more breath. Stay with it. Stay calm and steady. On your next exhale, bring the hands to the floor, frame the right foot, and you can either step that right foot back to a plank or step the foot back halfway, lift the left leg, bend the elbows, and bring the right foot towards the glute. Jump back into a plank, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, let's shift into a high plank. Exhale, bend the elbows, come all the way down to your stomach. Good. And let's come into a Sphinx pose. So the elbows come underneath the shoulders. Good. We'll just ease into some back bends. So first you can make this nice and passive. So you can just check in with the lower back, how it's doing today. If it's too much to have the elbows underneath the shoulders, you can move them forward a little bit. Good, now let's turn this Sphinx on. So press the tops of the feet down into the mat, lift the kneecaps. And then press the elbows down, press the shoulders down. So you're lifting the heart actively. And then draw the elbows towards you. So you can start to feel some length through the front of the body. So it feels like you're pulling the rib cage away from the pelvis. For 3, legs are strong. 2, feel like you're reaching the toes back, away from the pelvis. 1 more breath. And then exhale, release that. And bring your head down. And next we're going to do Shalabhasana. So you're going to bring the feet together. Toes are pointed. And you're going to bring the hands next to the body, palms facing up. And you're going to keep the hands on the floor. You're going to inhale, straighten the legs. Start to reach the toes back and up as you lift the heart. Keep the backs of the hands on the floor. Good. For 5. Reach the toes back. Reach the heart forward. 4. So you feel the muscles in the back engaging. 3. Deep breaths. 2. Gazing at the tip of the nose. And 1. Exhale, come down. We're going to go straight into B. Bend the elbows, plant the hands. Inhale, come up. For 5 breaths. Press the palms down and back. So again, reach the rib cage forward as you reach the toes back. For 3. 2. Waking up the backside. And 1. Exhale, lower down. Good. Tuck the toes. Inhale. Pop up into a plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, let's bring the right foot forward. Lower the back knee. Let's come into a lunge. You can bring the hands to the thighs or bring the hands to the floor. And I just want to take a quick moment here to open the front of the left hip. Good. It's really helpful for back bends to open the front of the hips so we don't get so much crunching in the lower back. Deep breaths. Use the exhales to help you release any tension you might be holding in the hips. Good. Just a couple more breaths here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, scoot that left knee back. Good. Tuck the back toes and go back into a downward facing dog. And when you're ready, let's do the left side. So the knees can be on the mat or they can be on the thigh. Good. So you should feel all this opening through the front of the right hip. Do you feel it? Good. This is also what especially gets tight if we're like sitting in chairs, or if we run, or if we bike. It's good to have this strong, but it's also good to release it. Okay. Couple more breaths. All right, tuck the back toes, step back into a high plank. And then exhale, we'll come back to our stomachs. Bend the elbows all the way down. Bend the knees, reach back, catch the ankles. If you can't catch the ankles, you're just reaching back. If you catch the ankles, you're gonna make as if to straighten the legs. Kick the legs, straighten the legs. Good, that's gonna lift the heart away from the floor. And then maybe you start to lift the thighs away from the floor. And if your lower back feels okay, bring the feet together. Good, keep kicking for 3, 2, lifting the toes up. 1 more breath. Exhale, come down. All right, pop up into Chaturanga, bottom of the plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to your knees. Good. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, lift the heart as you reach the hands towards the floor. Good. And then you start to tilt the pelvis. So you're dropping the pubic bone down. And then keep lifting the heart. So you feel like the rib cage is moving away from the pelvis or from the pubic bone. And the pubic bone is reaching away from the rib cage. For 3, keep lifting through the heart. 2, good. And 1. Release that. Come to your knees. All right, we're gonna do Ustrasana one more time. I'm gonna show you a few options and then we'll do it together. So you can either do that first version again, or you can tuck the toes. And as you shift the hips back, you reach the hands towards the heels, fingertips towards the heels, or you can untuck the toes, bring the hands to the feet. And then for all of these versions, if the neck feels okay, you can drop the head back. Or you can use blocks on either side of the foot and bring the hands to blocks. Yeah? All right. We're gonna move into it slowly, so don't rush into it. Stay with me as we move into it. Onto your knees. Press through the feet. Draw the lower belly in. And as you start to shift the hips forward, you're also tilting the pelvis. So the pubic bone is diving back. So you're unzipping the space between the rib cage and the pubic bone. So you're starting to lift the rib cage, lift the heart, shift the hips forward, and now reach your hands back to the heels, to the feet, or to the blocks. Good. And then once you're there, where you feel like you're not too deep or you can't breathe, maybe you're dropping the head back. And again, draw the lower belly in to help unzip that space. Rib cage away from the pubic bone and lifting the heart up. Maybe you shift the hips forward a little bit more. For 3, if you're still with me. Maybe squeezing the knees in towards each other. For 2, deep breaths. And 1, inhale. Come all the way up. Exhale, you can sit back down on your heels. Maybe you take Malasana, squat to release the back. Good. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come to seated. Lie down on your back. Bend the knees, plant the feet. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach the knees forward, reach the tailbone forward. Inhale, lift the pelvis for bridge pose. So keeping the feet parallel to each other, you can have the palms on the floor, you can catch the ankles. Good, keep using the legs, keep pressing through the feet to lift the pelvis up. For 3, 2, keep breathing. 1. On your next exhale, you're gonna roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Roll down the spine so that the sacrum's the last thing to touch. Good. All right, we're gonna do bridge again with the option to go up into full wheel pose if you want. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, reach the knees forward, reach the tailbone forward. Inhale, lift the pelvis, or also bring the hands next to the ears, all the way up into wheel pose. Good. Easing into it. You're pressing through the feet. lengthening the front of the body. Try not to squeeze the back side of the body. Instead, spread the back side of the body and lengthen the front. Good. One more breath wherever you are. Exhale, roll all the way down, one vertebrae at a time, starting at the top, all the way down to the sacrum. All right, one more. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, knees forward, tailbone forward. Inhale into bridge or full wheel pose. Maybe you're walking the hands in. And come into the breath. Deep, steady breaths. Lifting the sacrum up. Good. One more breath. On your next exhale, come down. Tuck the chin, roll down the spine. And hug the knees into the chest. Good. So good. Hug the knees in. And if it feels good, you can rock side to side. Good. And if it feels good, you can take happy baby. Whatever allows you to release the lower back. Good. And some shoulder stands. And we'll take Shavasana. So when you're ready, you can bring the feet over the hips. You can stay here. Another option is to bring a block underneath the sacrum, feet over the hips, or you can lift the hips up and bring the hands to the lower back. If you're in this version, make sure you're shrugging the shoulders away from the ears and moving the chin away from the chest. Deep, steady breaths. Perhaps slowing down the breath a little bit. Following the breath. Couple more. Maybe going in back into Halasana, so bringing the feet over the head, keeping the legs straight, and then if the feet touch, maybe you interlace the fingers. If not, just keep the hands on the lower back. One more breath here. On your next exhale, slowly roll out of it. Slowly bring the hips to the floor. And slowly bring the legs down to the floor. And once the legs touch, catching the backs of the thighs, press into the elbows, and bring the crown of the head towards the mat. So it feels like you're pulling the head towards the sacrum. The crown of the head is on the mat, and you're pressing the elbows down to bring the shoulder blades towards each other and lift the heart. Good. Feel the heart opening, the throat opening, and the mind melting into the mat. And coming out of that, catch behind the thighs again. Untuck the chin, or tuck the chin. Lying flat on your back. And we'll make our way to Shavasana. Final resting pose. So whatever you want to do for your final rest. If you want to turn the lights off, grab a blanket. Let the legs be wide, the arms be wide, palms facing up. Close the eyes. Allow the breath to be natural. Let the breath be as it is. Releasing all technique, releasing all assessment. Feeling the heels, the feet making contact, the backs of the calves making contact. Feeling the pressure, the support from the earth, the backs of the legs, the glutes. Feel the support of the earth making contact with the glutes and then moving up the back into the shoulders. Feel that contact. And then moving down the arms to the backs of the hands. In the back of the head. Completely relaxing into this support. Releasing tension behind the eyes, in the jaw, and in the throat, feeling all that tension dissolve. Feel free to stay here longer if you'd like, but if you're ready to move out of it, start to make small movements with the hands, the fingers, the feet. Deep in the breath, taking a deep breath in and sighing it out if you feel like that's what you need. To release anything left over, just sigh it out. And then bring the knees into the chest, falling over to either side. And slowly making your way back up to a seated position. Whenever you're ready. Just take one final moment in a seated position. You can close the eyes. That feels okay. And just one final moment with your attention turned inwards. Before you need to orient your attention back outwards, just take this last moment, feeling into the body, listening into the body, and making space for whatever needs to come to the surface, without judgment, without assessment, just opening to whatever's present. I'll finish with the closing mantra. You can join me or just listen. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalayantan nyayena margena mahim mahishaha ko brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam lokha samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti